Hey y'all, welcome to my channel where we talk about all things television and film. I'm reviewed, and I wanted to come on here and do a recap of The Shy season 6 episode 12. I didn't do a review last week on episode 11 because I was out of town. But anyway, this episode starts off with Tiff. She is going to Bianca's cigar lounge to basically drop off some of her merchandise, and she ends up seeing Bianca and Duda kissing, so she ends up leaving. We get a lot of Tiffany in this episode, as well as Bakari, and a bit of Papa in this episode. Um, we also get a scene with Bakari talking to his sister, and she's basically trying to see what's going on with him. And he's like, I've been writing, I'm trying to write a book. And she was like, are you going to put any names in the book? He was like, nah. And he basically wants to know how she's thriving and surviving, and when she was just basically homeless when she got back in town. And she was like, I know how to hustle, I know how to do whatever, whoop de whoop. Also in this episode, we get to see Victor in another councilman meeting, and we also get a bit of how politicians end up in people's pockets, because he ends up going along with some type of uh, law or bill or something where he's basically going to upset the community, and they're basically like, off with his head, we no longer want him as our councilman. We also get a scene with Emmett and Tiff where Emmett opens up to Tiff and lets her know that the deal he made with Duda basically states that he has to get rid of Alicia. And Tiff is like, how you gonna do that? And he's like, well, I'm gonna let her know what's going on. And Tiff was like, well, she might try to get rid of you. And he's like, no, I'm gonna be honest with her and let her know what the deal is with Duda, and hopefully that'll make her trust me, and basically we can start working together. And he asked Tiff to set up the meeting because he knows that Tiff has access to Alicia. We also get a scene with Papa and his ex-girlfriend, and he's basically letting her know that he will be working for her dad. She's not really happy about it, because she basically she knows what type of pastor her father is. And I think Papa is just excited about being able to have a platform to do his ministry, and just basically be an understudy for someone who he thinks is very good for the culture, when in actuality, he's just a pulpit pimp. This is the scene where Emmett and Alicia basically come to an agreement. He has told her all the goings on of Duda and what his plans are in reference to her. Uh, Once she kind of lets her guard down a little bit with Emmett, she lets him know that she will be providing security and everything for him, and and she will make sure that his business and his family is protected. She said that she would be making a stop by Smokies because she needs to know what type of food her business she going to be investing in is going to be selling. And so yeah, he's basically trying to get from up under Duda by any means necessary. We also get a little bit of Keisha this episode, where her son is, he is basically crying constantly. They take him to the doctor to try to figure out what's going on with him. And I know I said maybe a review or so ago, I was like, Keisha's attitude was getting on my nerves, things like that. But I forget that she had such a traumatic experience when she was kidnapped and assaulted by the coach or whatnot from her school. So I think her the way that she acts and the way that she was speaking to Emmett at the time was because she did not feel protected because of what she's gone through. And I think I kind of forget that, because the Shy is so good. You kind of get caught up in what currently is going on, and you can kind of forget about the past seasons. So I'm glad that they brought that flashback, because for me that kind of explains her the way that she may be very defensive with her actions and the way that she behaves with Emmy, because she does want to feel protected because of what she's gone through. And we also get a scene from her where she's talking to Victor's girlfriend, and she's like, "Hey, I need your help to, you know, find out what you are able to dig up about my assault, the man that assaulted her, because she needs to find out what's going on with her son." Um, we get a scene with Tiff, Lord Jesus, Tiff and Duda. They're at the cigar lounge. She's getting ready for that night. Well, not the yeah, she's getting ready for the night. Um, where her products are going to be on display there. And so Duda walks in, and unfortunately for Tiff, she starts speaking with her feelings instead of her head, because we know she cannot stand Duda. And she ends up saying something to him that she did not need to say. And it's like, girl, be quiet. Like, Tiff, if you're going to be a boss, you cannot act like a trainee, beloved. It does not work that way. Okay. You cannot think with your emotions. We know you cannot stand Duda. Half of the show can't stand Duda, but you still have to be smart and mindful of what you say. But anyway, she ends up telling him that Bianca basically said that their relationship is transactional. And you can kind of tell for a second that Duda is in his feelings. Duda is in his feelings a lot in this episode, actually, which is freaking hilarious because he's such a G. But baby, when I tell you he was paranoid this episode, it was crazy. He was paranoid like times 10, and he has every right to be, okay? This is where we get a bit of Papa. He's at the church with the pulpit pimp, and he is basically in front of the teens. They had like a teen congregation come in, and he's talking to them and basically giving his testimony. And this is just him talking to the pulpit pimp first, and the pulpit pimp down here with his hoe of a wife and blah blah blah. Okay. This is the scene where Bianca is talking to Tiff. They are at the cigar lounge. This is like the night that her Tiff's product is on display. And you know what I love? I absolutely, and this is a scene with them just toasting to the night. I love the music from the shot. Like, who this jazz, like the shot. I wonder who does the music scores. I'm gonna have to look that up. I absolutely love the music that they play on the shot. The jazz just be sending me in the best way. I absolutely love the vibe. I love it, love it, love it, love it. This is where Duda is confronting Bakari's sister, because at one point he hears her music on the radio, and he's like, "Look, I gave you $30,000 to spy on your brother. I didn't give you $30,000 to have a struggling rap career." And this little girl, she's delusional. But anyway, Duda basically saying, "I need you to deliver. I gave you $30,000, and you're gonna deliver the product. Basically, you're supposed to be uh, spying on your brother and coming back to me with whatever information." So she tells him that Bakari is writing a book, and Duda's like, "Well, is he gonna name names?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't know, whatever." And I'm like, is that the first thing that come to y'all mind about this way? And why do you assume that because he's writing the book that he's writing it about you, Duda? Like, get over yourself. Ugh. Anyway, this is another scene that happened in the episode where Bakari is talking to the professor, and the professor is like, if you're real about this, you're gonna have to start emailing me and basically um, pay more attention to how you keep your information, the things that you're journaling about and writing, because of course Bakari does not have a laptop, and he's like, you're gonna have to be a little bit more professional in your approach with what you're trying to do if you are trying to tell your story. Um, this is a woman's brunch that we get to see Tiff and Alicia at. And honey, when I tell you Bianca let Tiff know, you do not run back and you don't open your mouth to no man about what I'm trying to do for you. She was like, that's not how women get to the top. We don't get to the top by snitching. We get to the top by looking out for each other. Girl, when I tell you this part right here, I was like, "Oh, baby, that's Tony Childs. That is Tony Childs from Girlfriends." When I tell you that's all I saw in this moment, I was like, "Baby, that is Tony Childs all day, every day." If you know, you know. This is a scene in the episode where somebody sent Duda a box and a card saying this will look good on you in your casket. So again, this is only going to heighten, I believe, it's going to heighten Duda's paranoia. And again, he has every reason to be paranoid. But what I don't understand is if he has all these people with this vitriol against him, why do we not really see his security around him? It seems like his goons be everywhere but protecting good but protecting Duda. Like, make it make sense. It come on. Um we also get an episode with Shad and Victor. Victor is trying to offer him a job, not knowing that Rashad has already taken the job of being Alicia's head security, and you know what else. Uh, and so, Victor, he's really feeling the pressure of the decision that he made with, you know, at the councilman meeting. And now I think for me personally, it's like he's trying to do a good deed to kind of outshadow the bad deed that he made with being in people's pocket. But anyway, after that happens, we see him get arrested at the end of the episode. Um, I really enjoyed this episode, guys. I feel, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I do feel that something is going to happen to Bakari, because it always seems like when characters try to uh walk a better path, when they're trying to do better with their lives, something oftentimes happens to that particular person. So I hope I'm wrong, but I just got a feeling that Bakari will be a casualty in the Duda's war. um Oh, I really hope that nothing happens to Shad, but I don't know. I think he may be another casualty. I really do not know how this season is going to end. I need to find out how many more episodes we have left, because I really, really, really want to know how this is going to turn out. Like, oh gosh, I don't know. Anyway, tell me what you guys think about this episode. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you on the next video. Thank you for listening. Bye.